All right, NBA round one, game six. We only had three game sixes, and two of which were actually game sixes where the teams will win. They won in advance, right? So we're only going to have one game seven. But let's get right into it with the most kind of controversial and interesting games. And controversial because it's LeBron's first time losing in the first round in his entire, 18-year career? 17 or 18 years? I think 2003 was when he joined the NBA. And it's crazy to think that he only lost in the first round once. Obviously, it's crazy what he's been able to accomplish. But in this series, the Lakers look lazy. They look lazy, not finishing plays, kind of half trying, half kind of just hoping shots go in, which really resulted in bad play from them. If I had to be completely honest, I mean, LeBron did have 29 points, but I mean, Devin Booker had 47 points, and he was making shots from all over the place. 18 for Jay Crowder, which helped as well. And Chris Paul had 8, but he also had 12 assists, which, the ball movement for the Suns was really well performed. And, they had a big lead in most of this game. I mean, the Lakers did cut it back a lot more. It was 36-14 after the first quarter in favor of the Suns. I mean, that's crazy. The Lakers had a pretty good third quarter, outscoring Phoenix by 8, but pretty good for the Suns, and yeah, they got a pretty good win. Like I said, LeBron had 29, 19 for KCP, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, 20 for Dennis Schroeder, 12 for Wesley Matthews, 12 for Talen Horton-Tucker. But not a good game for the Lakers. They're definitely hanging their heads low. They had higher expectations for this season, but that's going to do it. Lakers are done. So yeah, Phoenix will move on and play the winner of this game, which was the Nuggets. The Nuggets will advance to round 2 with a victory over the Portland Trailblazers. This is a pretty good series. I kind of feel bad for the Blazers because I feel like if they could finish games, they would probably win this series. They really didn't play well in the fourth quarter. They got outscored. They had half the amount of points that the Nuggets had. 28-14 was the score. But they played a pretty good first quarter, pretty good second quarter, and even a pretty good third quarter. But like I said, the Nuggets just played better in the late stages of the game, and they got the victory. Campazzo had 10, 22 for Monte Morris. Player of the game would be Jokic. He had 36 points. And CJ McCollum had 21, 28 for Lillard, who also had a double-double, but just not enough. I think Lillard, if he had one more superstar on that team, they would be a finals contender, or at least closer to one than they are now, which I feel bad for Lillard because, he's getting up there in his playing career and still no finals appearances. And, I mean, I'm a fan of the dude, and I just think he deserves a lot more in the situation he's at. So, yeah, the final game is a game that we will see game 7. This has been a crazy series because you have momentum on one side, you have momentum on the other side, and now you have kind of teams going back and forth. Clippers and the Mavs. This was a pretty good game. It kind of went down to the end, but I think kind of a theme with a lot of these games is the team that plays better in the fourth quarter usually wins these games, and that team was the LA Clippers. They outscored the Mavs in the fourth by 31-20. And also the Mavs did not play well in the second. So the Mavs had a strong start, but kind of died down as this game progressed. And the Clippers forced a game 7. So pretty cool. I mean, I'm not a Clipper fan. I'm pretty anti-Clippers as a Warriors fan by default, but I do like good series, no matter who's in it. Kawhi Leonard was crazy. He had 45 points, 20 for Paul George, 25 for Reggie Jackson. He needed that help, and he got the help. 29 for Luka Doncic on the other side, 23 for Tim Hardaway Jr., and 12 for Boban Marjanovic. 11 for Dorian Finney-Smith as well. So, they played well, but they didn't break 100. And that's something they needed to do. And when, you don't play well in the fourth, that's going to happen. So that is all of the Game 6s. It's surprisingly shorter because, a lot of these series were a lot quicker. And we will have one Game 7, which is the Mavericks and the Clippers, and I will be there to report it. So anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts on these games, and I'll see you in the next one.